Hello. Okay, I had this whole, not lecture, lesson, I don't know, channel, download, something about manifestation that I was very excited to talk to you about because I'm very excited about manifestation. And then I got distracted by something for a very long time. And now it is very much my bedtime. So, in the name of consistency, as much as possible and getting this done for you, we're going to stick with tarot this time around. I'm sure there will be something channeled about manifestation tomorrow, but let's get into it. Also, if you don't know who I am, my name is Andrea. I'm trained as a therapist. I work as a coach. I'm a professional tarot and oracle reader, and I'm a professional DJ. All right, so let's get into it. Let me know how you're doing down in the comments. And if you want your own reading, I'm pretty sure my email is somewhere in the description box. If not, say so in the comments and we'll figure it out. But thanks for being here. Hope you're having an excellent week. You might be finding this a decade after I post it, and that's also totally fine. So I still hope you're having a good week. Whatever year that may be in. Oh, goodness, everybody's up late today. All right, what does the collective need to know? Ooh, oh my goodness gracious, that's too many. Yeah. Okay, we'll take those. 10 of Pentacles, the Devil, the Hermit, 2 major arcanas out of 3 cards. 10 of Pentacles, we love this. 10 of Pentacles is speaking to generational wealth. I'm finding it hard to speak the words right now. I'm going to have some water, but maybe there's something about speaking your truth, being honest with someone, being honest with yourself, showing up, being seen, being heard. Maybe you're trying to figure out what your truth is. This is definitely resonant for me, so I'm going to go with it. But finding your truth, speaking your truth is going to be the key to creating generational wealth. Now, wealth and abundance can refer to more than just money, more than just finances. We can be talking about other assets, things like homes, property. This can speak to investments as well, technically your finances. But this can also be speaking to legacy. There's something very special about this card in that it shows the different generations. You've got the kids, you've got parents, and then you've got a grandparent there, and also 2 dogs. The 10s do represent completion. So this is not about you necessarily all of a sudden, because you see this card, instantly having wealth and, one and done. It's not about that. This is a signal to you that you are very close to figuring out what it is that's going to get you to this place. And maybe in your family, no one has achieved that level of security and foundation before. If that's the case, this is really encouraging, because this is letting you know that not only is it possible, but you are capable. And I'm a firm believer these days that whether or not it's real, science is yet to determine it, but the idea of the multiverse, here we go, getting into manifestation, my favorite. There's a theory that potentially, because particles there are these waves of potentiality, so they could be in multiple places at the same time, and basically once consciousness interacts with them, so observation, then they collapse into a specific place. That is how potentially consciousness dictates matter. We're getting really deep with it, but there are possibilities for you that perhaps you haven't been open to before. You didn't realize were possible for you. And I would say that when it comes to this level of abundance, when it comes to this level of stability, foundation, wealth, money, income, however you want to put it, I like to believe that there are many versions of you already out there in the multiverse, and there are many of them who have a level of wealth and abundance that you haven't allowed yourself to even envision, because it just seems so delusional, right? And everyone's always talking about Delulu is the Salulu, and to an extent it really is. If you don't let yourself imagine something bigger, why would you even go for it? You don't even necessarily have to believe it right away, though belief is very helpful for manifestation. It's harder to manifest things when you don't believe that you can actually accomplish it. But that belief involves faith. especially when you're trying to manifest something that you've never done before, right? We'll talk about that another day. But this is very encouraging for you, whether your family has never had that type of wealth before or they have. You specifically are going to find a way to create incredible abundance in your life. And I get the sense that it's going to be happiness too. This is not empty money. This is coming from a sense of fulfillment. But it's going to come from you figuring out what your truth is. And I think maybe you haven't figured it out yet, and that's okay. I'm getting the sense, like I'm picking up on sort of a timid energy, someone who is a dreamer, someone who hasn't really allowed themselves to think bigger before in terms of like actually creating a vision for your life. Maybe you're a dreamer, maybe you've imagined many things, big things, but you've always chalked them up to a fantasy future as opposed to what I like to call my favorite future. It's the one that I believe is possible, and it's through that belief that you're able to create a bridge to it. You do have to shift it from fantasy type of imagination to sacred tool visualization through imagination. If you're interested in learning about this, I recommend Neville Goddard. He's the GOAT of manifestation when it comes to using the imagination, which is truly very powerful. And you're starting to give yourself permission, but I'm picking up on like a timidness. And if this is not you and you're bold and you're brave and you're doing all the things, like, it's fine. Take what you can, leave the rest. Doesn't really matter. The devil represents, a lot of booty. I don't know what the rules are on YouTube about that, but the devil speaks to addiction. It speaks to old patterns. It speaks to things that at this point you know are not serving you, and they're just getting in the way of you getting what it is that you want and creating this level of abundance and wealth. But it's like, it's the parts of you that are hanging on for dear life right before the ego death. And I don't mean death of the entire ego and all of a sudden you're a guru. It's death of old identities. It's like a releasing of just a version of you that isn't in service to the dream anymore. But that can be a little confronting. It can be a little overwhelming. So just notice where you're getting stuck. Maybe old coping strategies are coming up because the stress of change is really picking up because you can feel that you're close to it and it's confronting. And so then there's that trigger, and the reaction is to go into these old coping strategies. But you know that you've changed fundamentally. Confirmation bing. You know that you've changed fundamentally. Your identity has changed. You have changed as a person. When your coping strategies make you feel worse. Think about it. Coping strategies, like coping, is to help you feel better in a circumstance. When you don't feel good, you default to a coping strategy. It makes you feel better. When you're using old coping strategies, right, these old patterns as represented by this card, and they are not helping you, instead you're feeling guilty, you're feeling ashamed, you're feeling worse than you did before. You know, the doom scrolling just brings up anxiety rather than helps you zone out. Eating a bunch of junk food makes you feel really awful. You feel bad about it instead of, that sort of numbing you out or soothing you. You're not getting the benefits of the distraction anymore. This is a sign that you've changed. Your values have changed. You've changed as a person. You don't want the same things anymore. You want better things, bigger things. You've got way bigger dreams and goals, maybe even bigger than you thought. You didn't realize you were even going for this, but now you know it's possible. Now we just have to shift into a version of you that knows that it is probable. Right? That's the next step. But if you're finding old patterns like rearing their ugly heads in a big, big way, I just want you to know that that is the sign that you're changing as a person. And that's really exciting. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So this is my little encouragement to you. Hermit card. Okay. The Hermit card, again, major arcana, so it's a big lesson on the spiritual journey that you are on. Hermit is speaking, well, it's Virgo energy. The other one was Capricorn energy, in case you're interested. But you are in a very intentional stepping back right now. Now, I don't think you're going to stay there too long. And my encouragement to you is don't get stuck there. Don't, oh yeah, itchy nose. Ooh. You know you're channeling when. Don't get stuck there too long. It's okay to go internally, because manifestation of your dreams really does have a lot to do with going internally. It's as within, so without. We change first, and then the external starts to shift. But we need to shift internally first. I think that there's an isolation. Oh my goodness, sorry, so itchy. Okay, that one is cat hair. Oh, I think I'm allergic to my own cat. There is an intentional pulling back. It's like pulling the arrow back before you release the bow, and it launches forward faster than you could possibly have imagined before. And it's very exciting. But there is a drawing back. You may be avoiding certain people as well. Now, I don't think that you should be avoiding important things that you need to do. Avoidance is not ideal. I don't encourage that. But you are allowed to set boundaries with people in your life. You do not have to constantly call people back, answer every message. You don't have to do that. And I think if you identify as a recovering people pleaser, this will probably ring true for you, where setting boundaries and putting yourself first can feel like you're doing a bad thing, can feel like you're the bad guy, and you're not. And anyone who treats you like you're being a bad guy just for literally taking time to yourself, closing the computer, maybe turning the phone off. I had my phone on silent, now it's on again, but it was on silent for most of the day. I missed calls. I don't answer every email. I don't message people back immediately most of the time. And that's okay. But I used to carry a tremendous amount of guilt for that. You don't need to feel guilty for that. I think maybe what you need is a little bit of this blocking out the noise. And that does mean turning off some of these apps too. Like if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, that's fine. But maybe this is the last video that you watch for the next little while, and just give your brain a break so you can sit with yourself and just figure out, what is my truth? Oh, pardon me. Sometimes I wonder if the yawning is channeling, or it's because I do this at nighttime. There's a necessary, going within yourself that's happening. I get the sense that this is a new thing for you. Manifestation is new for you. I don't, almost came out. If it's not, leave it behind, take what you can, leave the rest. But I am picking up on someone watching this, even if it's just one person out of all the people who watches it who is like, I want to understand it, I want to do it, I want to change. And I'm like, you will. It's happening. It's already happened. Somewhere out there in the time-space continuum. It's happening. Oh my goodness. Okay, these cards just keep jumping and then jumping back down into the, oh, there we go. Death in reverse. Oh, I picked up the cards upside down. Well, we'll take it in reverse, but this can very clearly change upright. Death. This is another major arcana. We only have 4 cards on the table. 3 of them are major arcanas, which there's only 22 in the whole deck, so that's impressive. Death card. This is the identity shift. This is the change. Someone, might be you, is in resistance to the end of the cycle, in resistance to the end of the identity, even though you know it does not serve your future goals. You know that. Now, I'm giving you all the love and compassion in the world. I'm not going to hear and be like drill sergeant style coach, mentor. That's not my vibe. But I do strongly encourage you to let go, because I think you already recognize that the situation is stale. It's not even the situation, it's who you've been in the situations, right? Because you don't immediately change your environment. You don't immediately manifest the new reality that you want. you don't immediately meet all your goals. It's an internal process. When we talk about instant manifestation, that's usually what folks mean, but it's often not clearly communicated. Manifesting instantly means you manifest a new identity instantly. And even then, I still believe that we are like bamboo. It's like 5 years or something of putting roots down really deep under the surface, under the soil, and then all of a sudden it shoots up. But there was a lot of work that happened beforehand. So you've been putting in the work. Please give yourself that credit. But some things, like, there's that old identity with its old mindsets and its old belief systems that aren't, like, they don't fit you anymore. It's like you've outgrown a pair of shoes, but you keep trying to wear the pair of shoes and it's giving you blisters, and you can't walk to where it is that you want to go. You certainly can't even run there if you've got a pair of shoes that don't fit anymore. It's time to take the shoes off. It's time to let that old identity disappear. Oh, okay, yeah. Self-love. The Ace of Cups. A lot of readers read this as romantic love, like new romantic love. I rarely read it that way. Ace of Cups to me is just like a divine breakthrough when it comes to your self-love. Ooh, I just kind of felt that in my body. It's like desiring the self-love. Maybe you've been chasing self-love or wanting to understand it and figure it out for decades. And it's like all of a sudden, it finally starts to become clear for you. I really do feel like it's that bamboo situation where all of the years that maybe you have felt like you're failing at figuring out how to love yourself, it wasn't failing. It was just different layers going deeper and deeper into the soil to create these really strong roots. So when the breakthrough comes, it has legs to stand on. Like, it will be sustainable because you've done all of this work, but all of that time you thought that it wasn't working. That's wild. This really, really is just such a beautiful energy. It's very encouraging to think like, oh wow, here it is. That self-love that I've been looking for. It's inside of yourself, obviously, but there's some kind of situation, conversation. Maybe it's a video that you watch. I don't know if it's this one or something else. Like, there is something very specific that's going to trigger the aha moment. Maybe you do something and all of a sudden it hits you that you've changed and that you're proud of yourself. But you're going to have a breakthrough in regards to self-love. I think it might be something to do with being proud of yourself. I'm getting that sense. That's so nice. That's so lovely. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. I'm feeling all this love all of a sudden. I love you very much. And I'm proud of you. Maybe that's me being proud of you. You're an extremely strong individual. Oh my goodness, okay. The little like nudity situation with these cards here. The world. Your world is about to open up in such a huge way. And it's going to be like, it's a surprise, but it's not. It's like it's shocking to you, as if it came out of nowhere, but it's not a surprise to you. Do you know the difference? It's like, it's shocking because it seems very sudden, but it's also not a surprise because you're like, well, I've been working towards this for so long. Oh, yeah. So the 9 of Swords, this is anxiety. This is like not being able to sleep because of the overwhelm. This is, some people might say depression, but this is not a mental health channel, so don't take it that way. But 9 of Swords, this is fretting, this is worrying, this is not understanding what your purpose is, what your direction is, and putting so much pressure on yourself to figure it out. And it's just like, the world is going to open up for you when you're able to shift into this space of, usually I would say self-compassion is the bridge to self-love. I really do believe that. Like, we have to stop being mean to ourselves. It's the first step towards self-love. The Fool. Yeah. Wow. Another major arcana. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 8 cards are majors on the table. This is a huge deal. Like, this is a really big turning point for you. The Fool card. there's a new beginning that is coming, like whether you're ready or not. I mean, you are ready. You just might think that you're not ready, but it's coming, and it's going to open up your world. Your life is about to change in a really big way. So hopefully this reading is helpful in giving you that very loving, encouraging warning that like stuff's about to, I just heard like get hectic. I don't know if it's gonna get hectic. I'm gonna reel that word back, but it's like it might feel like it in the beginning to your nervous system, because some shifts are gonna happen in a way that maybe you don't feel ready for, but like spirit, the universe, the supreme consciousness, the great woo-woo in the sky thinks you're ready, knows you're ready. You're ready. You know deep down. I think it's maybe not it's a readiness. There's not being ready. It's you can handle it. I don't think we're ever ready for things. It's so rare that we feel ready. There's always something else that we could do to prepare. It's so rare that we feel ready. But it's more the recognition that whatever it is, you can handle it. That is truly the magic behind manifestation. You can do all the different techniques and tools in the whole world, and ultimately at the end of the day, none of that stuff really matters. It can help, but the ultimate skill that's needed for manifestation, consistent manifestation, is emotional resilience, and it's mindset. It's not finagling some sort of specific tool or whatever. They're all just to help you ground into trust, knowing that things will work out in the way that they are meant to, as long as you keep showing up with focus, with trust, with self-trust, trust in the unfolding, trust in the universe, with a vision, and then not becoming apathetic, but also not pushing or forcing. It's this very interesting, I call it like the 0 point, and I don't know if I got that from someone else and I'm forgetting, but it's like when you're in meditation, and that's not for everybody. Not everyone likes to meditate, but if you have been someone who's meditated a fair bit and you know what I'm talking about, it's like this very neutral point where the thoughts slow down. You're able to just observe them, and then eventually they sort of dissipate, and then there's this neutral space where we're not pushing or pulling or grasping or, and that's where it's like the magic gets in. That's where you become a conscious creator, from a place that is just relaxed because it knows, it trusts. I think you're like getting up to the edge of this level of consciousness and self-awareness that you've known of it, but you have not embodied it before, and it might just be shocking that you're getting to that point. Chariot. Okay, you're on the move. This could be physically. You might be moving. Maybe not. You could be traveling. I look at the Chariot card as traveling personally. But this can also be in your mind and in your consciousness. Like things are shifting for you. And I just encourage you to do your best to be like the Buddha on the surfboard. Find a way to be content to ride the waves, because stuff's going to be wavy for a while. So this is the invitation to you to lean into your ability to flow with it, even if it's wild, right? It's like how you can still have fun on a roller coaster, or you can still enjoy surfing. Sometimes when it's bumpy, it's not so bad. It's exciting. But we have to shift our perspective to one of, we can handle it. I think you're traveling. I think you're going somewhere, and I can't give you a time frame. I don't have cards that I can pull that would give us a time frame, but I do think that you're either traveling with your own city or locally, or you might be going somewhere else, like international travel, or somewhere else in your country. Ooh, okay, there's something about the travel that ignites. I think you're going to be feeling the self-love before you travel. Perhaps it's a gift to yourself to go and do that travel. But doors open for you, not just opportunities when you travel because you're in a fresh environment. Portals open inside of you. It's like parts of you that you didn't even know existed get activated. Look into astrocartography. This is like an astrology based map that's specific to you, and it shows you which locations in the world are ideal for different things that you might want to experience or achieve, where the good luck is, where the challenge is, where the career development, the love, the blah blah. Fascinating, very cool. But there is something about when you travel, when you go wherever it is that you're going, this Empress energy gets activated. This energy, don't worry too much about the gender that's represented on the card. The Empress energy is the sovereign being, the monarch that rules all of the monarchs. It's this royal energy in a very tangible form. The High Priestess is the guide through the underworld and the unconscious, right? The mystic. The Empress energy is one in the practical, lived 3D reality. This is your world that you are navigating in the practical way. So perhaps in your hermitude, if you're going through this, you're in your internal process and you're figuring out what your truth is, where you want to go, who you want to be, what you want to experience, what your truth is. But your flourishing will really, really start to happen when you go somewhere else. Now, you don't have to move. I've heard a lot of readings recently where when they pull this card, they're talking about moving house. You don't have to do that. You can travel and still have roots. Like, I personally, oh yeah, itchy nose. I personally like having a home base and then like to anchor into, and then I can still travel around. It's like how when you're astral projecting, you are tethered to your physical body, but you travel through the astral. I know it sounds really woo-woo, but that stuff is real. It's very cool. So you are, through an act of self-love and self-trust, I think, and just like a faith in your journey, even though you can't see around the bend, you're going to keep driving anyways. Oh my goodness, my body is doing all these different things. I'm yawning, I'm itching, all of it. You're giving yourself the gift of movement, of adventure, of creating some experience of novelty, and it activates you. It activates you through this, like, giving yourself that gift. If the money doesn't feel like it's there, I'm like, you make your own decisions. I'm not encouraging you either way, but this could be an indication that pouring more effort into creating the funds to travel, that might need to be a priority for you. Also, taking a chance and spending on that travel within reason could be the thing that actually unlocks the abundance for you. There are fated things that are going to unfold, truly fated things that activate this sovereign energy. For you, your empowerment in this lifetime seems like it comes from moving from that false spirituality that is based in the I'm not materialistic, I don't need those things, you know, sometimes even getting into this cliche, which is not true, but like money is the root of all evil. No, it's not. Money is an amplifier of whatever it is that you are. And if you're a really awesome person with really great ideas and a desire to help humanity, well, yeah, having more money in your hands is going to be a really good thing. So you got to trust yourself to be able to hold it and do amazing things with it. 10 of Cups. Happy ending. Dreams come true. It's going to happen for you. The things that you're finally letting yourself envision, like for yourself, as opposed to being like, oh, you know, the millionaires are only those kinds of people, or those business owners are only those kinds of people. And it's like, well, what kind of person are you? Oh, wait, you get to choose. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. And you are getting activated. If you don't feel it right now, have that faith. Make the travel happen. even if it's traveling within your own mind. But I truly do think that this is a physical travel. Oh my gosh, that's so itchy. You will discover something about yourself, maybe many things about yourself, but a truth will come through, maybe many truths, and you will get, it's like there's going to be some kind of an idea, and it's not just like the Ace of Pentacles, which is like an opportunity, a job offering, whatever that may be. I love how I just was rearranging the cards and the Nine of Swords like spun around on the table and is now in reverse. So I think the anxiety is dissipating the more that you, I just heard participating. The anxiety dissipates the more you participate in your own life. When you are no longer hermiting, when you come out of it, you're going to come out of it soon. If you're going, to that, the Death card, the Fool, the Chariot, all through the lens of the Ace of Cups, the self-love, like, you're on the up and up, and it's right around the corner. Sorry, one second. All right. Knight of Wands. Oh my goodness. Knight of Wands, you are going to be struck by some sort of creative urge, some creative idea. I don't think it's one idea, though. My advice to you is, if you get overwhelmed, like, our brains are not meant to hold tons of information all at the same time. This is for creativity and ideas and processing, but write that stuff down. Write it down. You don't have to accomplish every single creative thing all at the same time. I'm hearing a lot of things. Oh my goodness, it's already 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. The beautiful thing is that on the bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands. To me, this is the adventurer card. Unlike the Two of Wands, which is debating whether or not to go on the adventure, Three of Wands, this individual has decided. And they're just waiting for the right opportunity. They're just waiting for the right ship to come in. That is so exciting. Your creativity is about to just like open up, and it's through your joy, your creativity, your self-love, your empowerment, like actually being yourself. And it's that death to the old self, which sounds really dramatic, but really it's just like a gentle releasing and a thank you and goodbye, like, to old patterns and just like mindsets that aren't working for you anymore. Your mind needs to be working in service to your future, the one that you desire, all the time. If your mind is focused on unhelpful beliefs, limiting beliefs, false truths, like things that you know deep down are not true, or they're just unhelpful thoughts that are not in service to confirming the new, keep pointing over here, but I imagine it like in time, the future, the end goal. If what you're thinking up here is impacting whether or not you believe that that's possible, or whether your body does the things that it needs to do in order to get to that future, throw it out. The universe is mental. Your mind is the tool. This is where creation happens. Everything that has been invented was conceived first in the mind, even if it had never been done before. And so your future, your dreams, the thing that you're going to manifest, like your life, a new life, it starts in the mind. So that's your mission right now. Get a handle on this. Get really good at navigating this. When you experience difficult emotions or you feel discouraged, I have a rule. I do not trust my morning mood. And there's something to it from the psychology and neuroscience perspective, like cortisol levels. The stress hormone is higher in the morning. A part of it is to help us wake up. So I personally do not trust my morning mood, because I hate to say it, but a lot of the time I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. And then I have a rule where I wake up, no matter how grumbly I feel, I will smile. I just lie there, because after a while it shifts the chemicals in your brain. You'll start releasing dopamine and serotonin simply by moving the muscles in your face. Like, try it. When you do a pretend smile or a pretend laugh and then you do it long enough, it actually does turn into one. So there's something to it. But I have that rule where I don't buy into the mood that I'm in, it's not denying it. It's just knowing that I don't have to necessarily trust a crummy feeling if consistently when I wake up in the morning that tends to be how I feel. And instead, I use the power of my cunning mind to focus on what it is that I do want or that I have chosen for my future. Neville Goddard talks about something called SATS, the state akin to sleep. And this is the period as you're falling asleep and then also as you're waking up where your brain waves are at a different frequency. The brain waves are different than when you're in your fully awake, conscious, functioning mind. And that's a really great opportunity to work with your unconscious. It's an in-between space where you can use your imagination not as a fantasy, but as a tool for envisioning and planning through imprinting on your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined future and like reality, or a vividly imagined situation and a memory. It's like your conscious mind can, I always use the example of watching a horror film where you jump when there's a jump scare and then you laugh. When you jump, it's because your unconscious mind doesn't understand that what's happening is not happening to you. You're just watching it, right? But you and I both know that your conscious mind absolutely knows the difference. That's why you laugh about it, because you're like, oh my God, that's so silly. I can't believe I jumped. Like, it's not real. It's a movie. It's on the screen. That's how powerful the unconscious is. So using that time when you wake up in the morning, not just right before you go to sleep. When I wake up, I'm usually feeling grumbly. I encourage myself to smile, and then I lie there until the next snooze alarm. Clearly I need to go to bed. And I lie there and I envision that future. And the really cool thing is when you envision the future as if it's already happened, like it's a memory, that trains your mind and your nervous system to manifest things more easily and easefully because it's convinced that it's already done it before, so it doesn't seem so scary or difficult or like challenging to figure it out or do the thing. Like new things feel more challenging than things that we've done repeatedly, so you can actually use the unconscious mind and visualization as if it's a memory to prime yourself for doing a thing that you've actually never done before. It's very cool. Olympic athletes use this, but we can talk about that another day. I hope this is helpful. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.